Welcome to the Spotlight Series. I'm your host, Scott Nerney, live from the Coincidence Tuesday night. Before you get any further, don't forget to subscribe, send this to a friend, save it, throw it in your documents folder. Because speaking of documents, we have Christine Felgar here, who's going to talk to us about being a notary and the important things that she does every day. Welcome to the Spotlight Series.
Thank you for having me.
So tell us a little bit about what a notary is and what you do.
A notary is somebody who verifies documents, that verifies the signer is indeed who the signer is. The documents usually are given to the signer, and I get to see the signature and verify that that person is indeed who they say they are.
Sure, a little bit of protection for the third party who's writing this document. It could be a will, it could be insurance, it could be loans. There's quite a variety of documents that you see.
Correct.
And you're there to make sure that the person that's signing it is truly that person, so that you're protecting from fraud on many fronts.
Correct.
And how often is that rampant in the industry, or does a notary really kind of stop a lot of that?
Well, that would pretty much, I'm not quite sure about that part, because on my side, I just look at the document and sign it. So I'm not quite sure if fraud is rampant, but I know that notaries are being requested more and more. Sometimes just for simple things like an employment application, just to verify that the person sending in the application is indeed who is going to be employed. Sometimes sending in a physical ID is not what the employer needs to see, because they want to make sure that they are neutral whenever they're looking at the application. But having it verified, I can look at the ID, I can look at their signature, and I can say, yes, this is the person sitting in the application, and then it will be able to give them a neutral ground.
So you're really a first step in the business transaction before anything is even signed.
Correct.
So what types of services does the notary work with? What would call in a notary?
Well, my biggest clients right now are mortgage lenders.
Okay.
I do a lot of documents with them, but that's a certification that is extra to the notary. So notaries do have several certifications that they can get, and I think the total number is about 10 or 12 right now that they can add to their notary license. And I'm constantly adding to mine. So.
Great. And how long have you been doing this?
I have in Rhode Island, I've been doing this for just under about 2 months, but I also had a notary license in California. So in that, I was able to do that for a couple of years, and I also did loan doc signing there. So I'm new to Rhode Island, but I'm not new to the industry. So
we can appreciate the experience that you're bringing from two different coasts, seeing all different types of documents.
Absolutely.
And making the transaction safer and a lot smoother.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about, we talked about mortgages, I assume car loans.
Yes.
There's a lot of estates maybe, or will planning. You see the whole picture.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So if the document is ready to be signed, which means that everything is set in it and you have totally fleshed it out, which means that every aspect is covered, whether it be through the person creating the document or through a lawyer, at that point I can go ahead and notarize it and give it credence that it needs, or support under the legal aspect that it needs. However, the document you bring me, you have to know what kind of signature you need from me. I cannot advise you on that because different signatures carry different kinds of weight. So whenever you bring the document, or whenever you call me and you say you have the document, make sure that you would call your person that gave you the document and ask, okay, what signature does my notary need to know, so that way we can do this properly the first time.
Okay. And what's it like to meet people? You're out there shaking hands with people and looking at their personal information, is making it much simpler?
Well, the personal information, believe it or not, is something that I skim over. What I need to know is that the document is completely filled out, and that your name and signatures required and where those signatures are required. So unless you ask me to read the document to you, I just skim over it
Okay.
and just make sure that it's all filled in. So because the information that is in that document should already be, again, fleshed out, so that way there's no questions as to what you're signing.
A lot of businesses use internal people in the past to be notaries. While it's taken away from some production they could be doing elsewhere in the business, I know some businesses, as we've talked before, started to bring in outside people for the occurrences that they need. Plus, it does make sure there's a neutral third party that is above all ethics when we
Yeah.
talk about today's business. So you're doing some of that work as well?
Yes, and thank you for bringing up the point that I am a neutral third party. Because while I have packages that I work with different companies and different aspects of business, I am separate from them, as well as the individuals. While I would be working with the individual and providing their services, I am separate from them as well. So I do carry my own bonding license and all of that. So I am independent from both aspects.
Okay. I think that's a really important point. If I'm having someone take a look at, if I'm a business, if it's contracts or someone signing something, I think everybody would be happy. And I think contracts would be a biggest thing if a customer or a vendor is in, and we're talking multi-million-dollar deals or even 5,000, to have some third party decide, this is legitimate, the signatures and everything's filled out correctly, so that we're not in litigation later. You provide a extremely important
Yeah,
position.
I'm gonna correct you just a little bit.
Sure.
The word filled out correctly, that would be the lawyer's job. Filled in
from the signature side.
completely. Yeah, filled in completely would be my side.
And talk about the packages that you offer.
Well, I offer packages to businesses. I offer packages to individuals. There are individuals who feel safer whenever they have things documented, and a notary signature can be seen in court. Now, the weight that the judge puts on that notarized page, it depends on what's on the page, not necessarily the signature. Okay, so those documents have been called into court before, and so has the notary's been called into court. So that is a backup for whoever wants that neutral third party. All right, so the packages I offer are to businesses, to individuals. They're also to mortgage loan companies and to car loan companies. I have other packages that I haven't even thought of yet that are out there that I haven't even realized yet. But if there is a package that somebody wants to call me and we'll create it, sure, I'll get you a deal. Because one signature is usually about $25 per signature. So we can make a package out of it and do several per month and go from there.
So tell us a little bit about yourself for those who want to know just a little bit what's behind the scenes of Christine when I call her into my office. Tell us a little bit about what brought you here and where you've been.
Okay, so, well, first of all, I am the mother of two girls. One is turning 16 in March, and the other one will be turning 12 in March. They are 4 years and 9 days apart. So that's one major thing. Another thing is I love people. I love being around people. People make the world a better place. I love cultures. If it weren't for cultures, we would all think the same ideas. And we need that diversity just to be able to bring a different idea to the table. I've had 3 major moves, actually, from Missouri to California, and then from California, then back to Missouri, and then from Missouri to Rhode Island. So the reason I'm here and I'm staying here is I love this state. I love it with everything that's in me. I love from the vegetation all the way to the people, or from the people to the vegetation. I like everything in between.
And how long have you been in Rhode Island?
I've been in Rhode Island for a little more than a year. So November of 2022.
So our apologies to people when they call you for their notary services. I will tell them right now, do not give this girl instructions on how to get to your place where something used to be. She's only been here a year or two. You can't say where the Bennies or the Almacs used to be because she doesn't know. Give her good directions. She has a GPS. She made it here.
Yeah, actually, I drove from California to Missouri and then from Missouri to Rhode Island. So yeah, I drove the whole way by myself. So I feel like I'm a pretty independent girl,
There you go.
and I like doing the right thing and moving forward in that. So
Well,
yeah.
you're helping people every opportunity you can. I know you've been
Yeah.
doing a fantastic business. Welcome to the Wave family. We really want to publicize what you're doing and really protect people out there that need documents done, don't know where to turn. I think you're a fantastic resource for that.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much for
All
being
right.
on the spotlight.